So here's Butch Cassidy, here's the Sundance Kid, and these guys are the Wild Bunch. And this is the only known accepted photograph of the five of the guys together. These guys like to read about themselves in the news. They were notorious. They were legends in their own time. It makes perfect sense that they would want to sit for a picture before they would disband for good. And here's the evidence. Unfortunately, it was their downfall because this ended up being Butch Cassidy's wanted poster. This ended up being the Sundance Kid's wanted poster, and it ended up haunting the rest of these guys that they recorded their image. So the only known accepted picture of them until it appears now, I found this tintype a couple of years ago. Just upon first viewing, it just looks like it's amazing, the setting of the five of them together, but then you just get into each guy. Here's Butch, Butch here, Sundance here, and the tintype, Sundance in the known. This is News Carver right here, the tall Texan, known for being over 6 foot, very unusual back then, so he was called the Tall Texan. And here's the meanest guy of all, the enforcer, the actual killer of the bunch, right here in the shadows. So let's go to the close-ups. Here's the tintype. Here's a close-up of the tintype of Butch, and here is the transparency of the known. You come right in, you line up any of the features, and the rest of the features come in. Look at that. You line up the nose, and the mouth comes in. You line up the eyes, and the nose comes in. The creases all match up. Let's go to Kilpatrick, the tall Texan. Had a very, very distinct scar here and a mole, which really are evident in the tintype as well as in the transparency of the known. Let's bring that over. Here's the scar right here, and here's the mole. Let's just match those up. And what do you know? Everything else. Lips, nose, eyes, all of it's there. Let's go to Curry, the mean guy. Most in the shadows. I think it's appropriate since he was the most shadowy guy. Look at that big drinking man's nose, though. And let's go to the transparency. Same big nose, mustache he was known to wear always. Let's bring that over. Let's line that nose up. Look at that. The eyes come in. The mustache, mustaches come and go, but he was known to wear it all the time. It looks like somebody shadowed the known picture with my tintype. Let's go to, of course, Sundance, right? Now, Sundance is a different angle, and the tintype, you're seeing him a little bit more from the left, whereas in the known, you're seeing him more from the right. But you can't change core features and the distance between them, like the eyes and the nose, between the pupils and such. Let's do that. Let's line his nose up. And look at that. The eyes come right in the right place. They fill each other in. The lip, just do the lip. And then the nose comes in and the eyes come in. Let's go to Carver, News Carver. Straight on, very distinct nose, higher on the edges than in the center. If you looked at this guy from the side, you'd see a big hole in his nose almost. Let's look at the known. Same thing, very high here, very low in the middle. Let's bring them together. Look at that. Holes line right up. You line that up and come right in, and look at that. His mouth lines up, his eyes go right in the fill in the sockets. Now they're not going to be exactly the same because the angles are slightly different, so it's not going to be perfect. But if these guys weren't the same guys, there would be major discrepancies in all of these. So you look at these side by side, from a distance they just look like the same guys, and then you get in close and they look like the same guys. I mean, it's just one thing very interesting is that Butch is in the same place too. It's like he made sure that he liked this position of power in the front. And there's many, many other points of comparison, many on each person. So this is them right here. We have another picture of these guys.